Hey guys, guess what we're making today? Pakore. Shelly the human cook here and Air is human. So let's go. Let's go prepare these delicious, absolutely scrumptious snacks. Alright, for making a pakoras, first we're going to start with our batter. So I'm going to put 2 cups of brown flour. Brown flour is very important. That's the base. There we go. I'm going to put just a little more. I'm going to need that. Alright. There we go. To those 2 cups, I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of, actually a teaspoon of baking powder, sorry. And tablespoon of cornstarch to give it that crispiness. There we go. Cornstarch just gives it that crispiness you need when you fry it. Alright. Next are spices. Alright, for our spices, I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of cumin powder, 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Actually, I'm going to put in half a tablespoon of turmeric. Half a tablespoon of red chili powder. This is extra hot, so I'm going to put in even less than half because I don't want it too spicy. Salt to taste. Ajwain, 1 tablespoon. I love ajwain in pakore. It's just delicious, especially the cabbage and aloo pyaz pakore, vegetable pakore. I also like to put about 2 big tablespoons of kasuri methi. Kasuri methi just gives that underlying earthy tone to the pakore that is just so delicious. And don't forget to mash it up in your hand first. I always measure it because I end up putting so much. I love it. Okay? Now normally I would put fresh ginger and garlic in this, but I found it gets a little too wet and a little overbearing. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of garlic and a tablespoon of ginger powders instead of the, let's get a little ginger. There we go. This just brings the flavor out a little more. Now to this, we're going to slowly add our water. Always add it very slowly. You want less water, not more, because then you're going to have to add everything a little more. And there's a certain consistency to the pakora batter that you'd like. So I started with about 2 cups of water here. I've put in 1. I'm putting in about half more. Let's see what it gets us to. That looks about right. And we just have to smooth it out now. I'm going to add just a little more water. You want it this thin but thick at the same time. So this is what you want. So we're gonna let that kind of sit and marry while we get our vegetables cut up. Now I'm just gonna chop up my vegetables. You want to cut your cabbage real thin, like this. I'm gonna put in here cabbage. Purple cabbage, green cabbage, onions, and potatoes. Potatoes and cabbage you want to cut thin. Onions you want to cut thick. So let me finish this up and then I'll meet you back here. So you want to cut the potatoes ultra thin too, because you want them to fry evenly with the rest of the vegetables. And since they take the longest to fry, you want to make sure they're nice and thin or really small pieces. And now I'm going to be cutting my onions, and I'm going to cut my onions nice and thick, not thin slices, because I want them to stand up to the potatoes, and so at least, you know, this thick. You want thick pieces, not thin. Let's see if we can even thicker. Like this thing. Those look like good pieces. Alright? And then we're just going to mix both of them together. For this next part I'm going to be wearing gloves, and I'll tell you why. Because of the turmeric in here, I don't want to stain my hands, and we have to make sure that we kind of crush these vegetables first. So first I'm going to mix up my vegetables very well. Look how beautiful and colorful that is. It's going to look, it smells amazing, it's going to taste amazing, you're going to have fun. Alright. Look at that, look at that. So, you see how everything's clumped together, so we gotta kind of mix it first. And it's not the same in a salad mixer, or it's the best when you do it by hand. You gotta get every single thing apart. Ooh, those onions are getting to my eyes. Okay. Alright. Potatoes look like cheese in here. Alright. That seems like it's okay. I'm going to go ahead now and put this in. You want to get it evenly coated, each one. It's going to feel heavy because of the cornstarch in there. But when you eat this, it's going to be so light, even though it's fried, it's going to feel like it's light. And it's vegetables, so nothing wrong with that. It's an easy way to get your kids to eat their vegetables. Making a mess. Gloves are too big. That's the problem. Alright, you see how those are nicely coated evenly? That's what we're looking for. We don't want them to be drowning in that. We want them nicely coated. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my fryer hot to 340. And now I'm just going to slowly drop in the mixture. You see how super thin it still is? It was a little thick before, but the reason why it thinned out is because the vegetables leave their water. So as soon as you put the vegetables in the mixture, you have to be ready to fry them. Alright, here we go. Oh, that looks so good. How I'll fry them up, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how they look. Look at this, guys, how beautiful it looks. Look at these vegetable pakoras. The potato, the onions, the cabbage, absolutely delicious. You want them a little, I like them a little more well done. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video.